5 EU capitals where your rent costs less than a cappuccino in Copenhagen. In Copenhagen, a single cappuccino costs $7. A monthly transit pass is $100. A tiny one-bedroom apartment runs $2,000 a month. But what if you could live in an EU capital for less than just the rent in Amsterdam? These 5 capital cities prove you don't need a six-figure salary to live well in Europe. From $1,100 to $1,750 a month, full EU membership, Schengen travel, and a quality of life that would shock anyone paying $3,500 in Paris. Here are Europe's 5 cheapest capital cities, ranked. Before we count down, here's the baseline. The most expensive EU capitals, Copenhagen, Amsterdam, and Paris, cost $3,000 to $3,500 per month for a single person, including rent. The cities on this list cost $1,100 to $1,750. That's 50 to 70% savings, not on some off-grid compound, but in genuine European capitals with culture, nightlife, healthcare, and international airports. Every city on this list is a full EU member state with Schengen zone access, meaning you can travel freely across 27 countries. We're ranking from cheapest to most expensive. Number 1. Sofia, Bulgaria. Monthly cost for a single person, $1,100 to $1,400. That makes Sofia the cheapest EU capital, period. A one-bedroom in the city center runs $500 to $700. An inexpensive restaurant meal costs $8. A cappuccino is $2.90. A monthly transit pass is $25. The average local net salary is about $1,200, meaning you can live on roughly what locals earn. Sofia is a bizarre and wonderful mix. Soviet-era apartment blocks sit next to Ottoman mosques and modern co-working spaces. The tech scene is growing fast, with Sofia emerging as an outsourcing hub for Western European companies. Vidosha Mountain rises directly behind the city. You can ski in the morning and sip wine in a rooftop bar by evening. The caveat: Bulgaria adopted the euro in January 2026, and prices have jumped 20 to 50% on services since the switchover. Sofia's cheap paradise window is closing, but right now it's still the undisputed budget champion of the EU. Number 2. Bucharest, Romania. Monthly cost, $1,200 to $1,500. A one-bedroom in the center runs $510 to $700. An inexpensive meal costs just $7, the cheapest sit-down dining in the EU. A cappuccino is $3.30. And here's the headline: a monthly transit pass costs just $14. That's the cheapest in the entire European Union. Bucharest has the largest IT sector in Southeast Europe. Tech salaries run 2 to 3 times the national average. The architecture is a wild collision of Belle Epoque palaces, communist megablocks, and glass towers. The Palace of the Parliament is the heaviest building on Earth, a monument to Ceausescu-era excess that now houses the Romanian parliament. The old town, Lipscani, has been revitalized into a nightlife and dining district that rivals Krakow. The downsides: traffic congestion is among the worst in Europe, air quality can be poor, and Romanian bureaucracy is legendarily slow. But at $1,200 a month with EU membership, Bucharest is hard to beat on pure value. Number 3. Budapest, Hungary. Monthly cost, $1,300 to $1,600. Budapest is arguably the most beautiful cheap capital in Europe. A one-bedroom in the center runs $550 to $810. An inexpensive meal costs $8. A cappuccino is just $2.50, the cheapest on this list. A monthly transit pass is $23. Living costs are 44% below Paris and 50% below London, yet the quality of life rivals both. Thermal baths fed by natural hot springs. The Danube splitting Buda and Pest with Parliament lit up on the riverbank. Ruined bars in the Jewish Quarter. Michelin star restaurants at a fraction of Western prices. The Nomad community is huge and well-established. Internet is fast and reliable. English is spoken widely in tourism and tech. The downsides: The Hungarian forint has been volatile, making long-term financial planning unpredictable. Hungary's government has clashed repeatedly with the EU, creating political uncertainty. And Hungarian is considered one of the most difficult languages in the world. But for pure beauty per dollar, no EU capital comes close. Number 4. Vilnius, Lithuania. Monthly cost, $1,400 to $1,700. A one-bedroom in the center runs $650 to $800. An inexpensive meal costs $10. A cappuccino is $3.30. A monthly transit pass is $33. Vilnius is the EU's hidden digital gem. Lithuania uses the euro, has blazing fast internet, and a government that actively courts remote workers and startups. The Old Town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, one of the largest in Eastern Europe, with Baroque churches and cobblestone streets that feel untouched. The average net salary in Vilnius is about $1,660, higher than Bucharest or Budapest, reflecting a stronger local economy. English proficiency is among the highest in Eastern Europe. Fintech is booming. Revolut has a major hub here. The startup ecosystem is thriving. The downsides: Baltic winters are genuinely harsh. Temperatures regularly drop to -15 degrees Celsius, 5 Fahrenheit, from December through February. The city is relatively small, which means fewer cultural events and entertainment options than larger capitals. But for digital nomads who want EU membership, fast internet, and a compact, walkable city, Vilnius delivers. Number 5. Riga, Latvia. Monthly cost, $1,400 to $1,750. A one-bedroom in the center runs $650 to $750. An inexpensive meal costs $10. A cappuccino is $3.50. A monthly transit pass is $35. Riga's defining feature is architecture. The city has the highest concentration of Art Nouveau buildings in the world. Walking through the quiet center district feels like stepping into a living museum of early 1900s design. Latvia uses the euro. The Central Market, housed in 5 former Zeppelin hangars, is one of the largest and most impressive in Europe. Fresh fish, local cheese, smoked meats, and Latvian rye bread at prices that would make a Parisian weep. Riga's Old Town is a UNESCO site with medieval merchant houses, cobblestone streets, and the iconic Riga Cathedral. The nightlife is lively and cheap. Cocktails for $8, local beer for $4. The downsides: similar brutal winters to Vilnius. Latvia's population has been declining due to emigration to Western Europe, and the job market outside Riga is very limited. But at under $1,750 a month with full EU benefits, Riga offers genuine European charm at a fraction of the Western price. Here's how all 5 stack up side by side. Sofia at $1,100 is the cheapest. You can live there for less than just the rent in Amsterdam. Bucharest at $1,200 has the cheapest transit in the EU at $14 a month. Budapest at $1,300 is the beauty champion. Thermal baths and Danube views at half the London price. Vilnius at $1,400 is the digital nomad pick. Fast internet, high English proficiency, and a growing startup scene. And Riga at $1,400 is the architectural gem, Art Nouveau heaven with a UNESCO Old Town. For context, Paris costs $3,200. Amsterdam costs $3,500. Copenhagen costs $3,400. You could live in Sofia and Bucharest combined for the price of one apartment in Copenhagen. All 5 cities have international airports, modern healthcare, fast internet, and full EU Schengen access. The only question is which one fits your lifestyle. That's the 5 cheapest EU capitals ranked for 2026. Which one would you move to? The tech scene in Sofia, the thermal baths in Budapest, or the Art Nouveau streets of Riga? Drop your pick in the comments. Subscribe for weekly deep dives into cities where the numbers actually make sense. See you in the next one.